Peace, 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 peace. Love and blessings, guys. Just jumping in real quick, just because I had a not a bad day, but a strange day, and I just kind of want to talk about it respectfully. You know, respectfully to both parties, myself, and the recipient, because I never claimed to be that guy who always has the answers, right? I apologize because it's dark. I don't really like all the light in my office unless I have a certain product or something like that that I need to brighten up the place. And, after work, I'm just chilling, uh, vibing, and, having a ice cold brewski. And I just wanted to talk to you guys. So, guys, if you did not, well, first and foremost, thank you for coming through. If you're stopping through the channel for the first time, my lives don't usually always get too crazy, but hopefully in the near future we will change that, and I do plan on becoming a lot more active. Um, and so yeah, I just kind of wanted to kick it with you guys briefly to talk about my experience today. If you're new to the channel, thank you for clicking on this video, clicking on this live. Thank you. Please hang out. Please feel free to comment. Please give some feedback. Um, I can grow, I can build, we can build from that feedback. So, me personally, I've been doing tech support for quite a while now. I've done various roles, been blessed to be in a number of positions across a vast um, area of like customer base. And I've never once in all my years of tech support ever been placed on any type of disciplinary um, um, any type of disciplinary status, basically, where I wasn't, let's say, for example, I may have not been performing up to standards. So for me, um, this this particular issue, right, is and I appreciate that. Like I just got a comment. Shout out to Clemmy Cassell, said this content is deeply needed. It is, because these are things that we don't talk about. And I feel like folks are afraid, right? I'm trying to get the live going on my screen so that way I can comment back. But I feel like folks are afraid, man. And I'm not. Like, when you know that you stand by what you do, right? And you go above and beyond, like you give 150%, the job only requires 80, right? Um, and this customer is just that uh, nitpicky that, and I understand, like, if you're a VP, you're high level, you're busy. I get it. We try to customize, we try to make things as seamless and streamlined as possible if you're transitioning into a new device or whatever, you have a meeting and you need AV support, whatever that might be, right? I know for me personally, I do my best to make sure that those needs are met. And so for me, just to get the feedback that I got today, I don't know if I don't blame anyone, but I do feel that it's great that you back yourself up and you have emails and you have everything that someone has asked you for if someone is actually trying to place you on any type of performance status, right? Because if you do and you show, you check off everything, you've done everything that this customer has asked, you don't deserve to be placed on this performance thing. And the customer is just that difficult that it's probably going to happen to someone else. Like if you know, like I know for if I'm 44, so I would never like I'm a grown man, so I would never see someone and purposely not speak to them. You understand what I'm saying? Like how do you get to these levels and you're so petty that you'll actually see somebody, like look them right into their eyes, right, and not speak? I feel that that's the lowest form of humanity possible. Like because I just don't carry myself that way. Like and I'm that high level, I'm that high up that I speak to people and they don't speak all the time. And it never brings my energy levels down, right? I just that's just where I function. That's where I operate. But you have to be a very low level person if if you have an individual who's trying and doing everything in their power and has taken the initiative to have things fixed, repaired, ordered for you without you even saying anything. They just did it. They just took this call, take the initiative for a reason. You take the initiative and you don't have to actually wait for someone to ask you for anything. So I've done this, for this particular individual, and I get placed on a performance. Uh, like I don't, I don't understand. Like I'm very much confused. Like when you're right, and you're wrong. And I know I'm not even uncomfortable, right? And that might just be the problem. Like I can go into any room with any VP, with any exec, and not get frazzled because that person is an individual just like me. Mark my words, guys. We'll be having the same conversation very soon when my whole organization and enterprise is up and running and I don't have no BS meetings and I don't have no performance and I don't have none of these weird systems that have been in place to try to control and manipulate people, especially when you have people who do their job and they actually report that information back to you. Like, how do you, like, how I'm very much confused, if anything, versus being frustrated. Um, Not frustrated at all. Confusion, yes, because, and that's simply because I just don't get it. Like, how can I just don't get it? Like, how can you go from having like meetings along with your your actual management about this customer, provide that information that the customer is asking for, and still get BS'd? What's going on, D-Rock? Yep, the customer will be upset with the company, not with you. But sometimes it's hard to break through that a gentle word. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, D-Rock. Um, and I understand that. Like, um, and you know, the sad thing is, you try to give everybody the benefit. I do. I personally give everybody the benefit, but I think there is definitely I am humbled. So first and foremost, let me admit because you have to admit this is my first time doing. It's not my first time doing exec support because I've supported uh, CEOs and CIOs and VPs for all of my career, and again, never had this issue, right? But because of the way that the customer is handled or used to being handled and never being put like not necessarily disrespectfully put into place, but you have to set boundaries, you have to set a standard. Like let's say for example a customer moves to an entirely new building and they don't bring in the support team that's going to be supporting them. They don't bring you in for any of the ordering process, any of the infrastructure, like no networking, no phones, no AV solutions, none of that. But then you throw one of your team members in there who tries to help implement new hardware deployments, new hardware recommendations, because you've seen flaws in the products that they had initially. You try to set up a temporary solution. You don't try, you do. You set up a temporary solution for them that worked perfectly as long as they followed your instruction that you provided. But regardless of what they do when they disconnect cables and things of that sort, which nobody even really uses in AV rooms, no conference rooms, people don't use wired connections anymore. There's no HDMI cables coming up from under the desk. It's wireless. It's wireless. Everybody knows that you go in there, you use AirPlay if you use a Mac, and you use Screencast if you're using a Windows device. This is this is seamless, right? But if you're not called in when the process begins and is implemented, how can you provide communication and feedback to make sure that those things are in place? And then when you put the temporary solution in place and you try to find out who are the standards for your institution, you are not fully met with or provided that communication that you need. So you start these communications on your own, right? But then still you're blamed for these things breaking. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so that's what is rather confusing to me. But again, lesson learned. I do understand that certain customers are, if they're handled a certain way, that's what they're used to. I'm okay with that. One thing I'll never get used to is like actually looking at somebody or walking past someone that I know is right there and not speaking. That's just weirdo shit. Excuse my language. And I hate to say it, I will go above and beyond, but I will never be a brown noser. If I have to brown nose my way and suck ass my way into another next level of position, I guess I'm going to be my own CEO. I guess I'm going to be my own manager, or I guess I'm going to be my own director. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I love getting the job done. I love going above and beyond, but I'm not a suck ass, and never will I be. So anyway, I just wanted to know how you guys felt about that. Like, at what point, at what level, excuse me, that's the brewski, do you draw the line? At what point do you set a standard, even for, you know, for whoever? Like, levels have to be set for everybody. Like, if you are having issues, if you get a new computer and you want me, we have no ghosting technology in place. Everybody knows that a lot of that's technology and software is not secure. If you need me to streamline things and get everything tweaked how you like it, no matter what you do, you're going to have to sit down with me and we'll get it done. I don't know how else to do it. But anyway, I'm not going to go on. I didn't want to go on this long, guys. I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest and talk about some of the things that people are afraid to talk about. I'm not. Peace, love, and blessings. If you like the content, please subscribe. Just know I may be dragging my feet, but it won't be much longer. But I will have systems in place where I will be running the show. I feel it, I see it, and I will not run it how certain people do. Things will change. Peace, love, and blessings, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts on this. I appreciate your time. Big homie Fit Tech. Catch you in the next one.